See this? This is my newest Little People Big Dreams book. Greta Thunberg, the girl who protested against climate change. Let's hear her story, shall we? Greta was a little Swedish girl who learnt from her parents to turn off the lights, not to waste water, and never throw out food. 3 simple lessons for being kind to nature that most grown-ups haven't quite learnt yet. She was very proud of her great-granduncle Svante, a brilliant scientist who, 100 years before Greta was born, made an alarming discovery. The planet was warming up and humans were the ones responsible for it. But even though adults have known this for a long time, not much has been done to change it. Every day millions of tons of toxic gases are thrown into the air. Greta wondered what would be left of the planet when she grew up. At school, she watched a film about climate change. Most students were worried about polar bears losing their homes because of the North Pole melting. But once the film was over, everyone forgot about it. Everyone. Except Greta. She felt so hopeless about the future that she stopped talking. Doctors said she had selective mutism and Asperger's syndrome, which meant that she would only speak and pay attention to what was really important to her. Some may have thought that these were 2 terrible conditions, but they ended up becoming Greta's greatest powers. They helped her to stick to her promise to do everything she could to slow down the planet's warming. Greta started by convincing her parents to give up air travel and stop eating meat. But there were dozens of other little things she could do. She knew that she couldn't stand up for something without walking the walk. She had done her homework, but it wasn't enough. To stop global warming for good, politicians had to do theirs too. One day, instead of going to school, Greta decided to sit quietly in front of the Swedish Parliament with a sign. Not very many people noticed her that first day, but it didn't bother Greta. She kept going with her strike every single Friday, and every time she got there, more and more students joined her. It was time for children to wake up the adults. Soon all over the world, thousands of students started skipping school to protest outside of their city halls, fighting for the future of the next generation. Inspired by Greta's story, millions of people from Melbourne to San Francisco flooded the streets in the first world strike against global warming. It was the biggest environmental protest ever. She crossed the ocean on a wind and solar-powered boat to speak in front of world leaders. In the name of all children, Greta asked people in power to stop making excuses and start acting before it's too late. And what started with just one little girl with a handmade sign became a movement that includes us all, because global warming is the greatest challenge humanity will ever face. But little Greta is no longer alone. We must all do our best to help the environment and help Greta lower down global warming and hope for a cleaner, greener future for all.